You probably already know about Texas heat traffic and property taxes. But I bet you're wondering, what else could there be? What other reasons should I not move to DFW? Hi, I'm Angela Lindsay, a licensed realtor right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and I'm helping families just like yours locate their community, find their dream home, and live the life they love living right here in the city of Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Now, if you are interested in purchasing a home here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, please reach out to me. Text me, call me, leave me a voicemail, send me an email. I love to hear from you and I love to work for you. In this video, I'm going to share 13 reasons why I believe you should not move to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Reason number one, there are too many lakes to have a good time. And if you do not like lakes, you will be surrounded by them. I mean, like, people are all over. They're jet skiing, they're fishing, they're canoeing, they're even swimming in the lake. It's just so much to do out at the lake. Picnics. And the thing about it is that if you don't like the lakes, you're for sure to have a couple of neighbors and some friends that's going to invite you out. They're going to say, hey, let's go out to the lake, because that's where everybody hangs out on the weekend, is at the lake. Now, one thing you're going to hear about the lakes is that they're all man-made. Most of them are reservoir lakes around Texas. And most lakes you hear about are made man. They're large and people spend a lot of time, a great time out there enjoying the lakes. So you'll hear a lot about man-made lakes, just about. But don't let people fool you. We do have some natural lakes here. They are so small that people don't go and canoeing and swimming in those. Well, you probably can swim in, but they don't go and have a good time because they're really small lakes. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you, you'll hear people talk about Caddo Lake. Caddo Lake is near the border of Louisiana. And a lot of people go there thinking that Caddo Lake is the only natural lake in Texas. And it's not quite true. Caddo Lake was a natural lake. And then they installed these dams. They built these dams around them to raise the surface of the lake. So the original water level increased, and the present capacity and the surface are all man-made. So no, Caddo Lake is not a natural lake. It's part man-made lake, which is a lot of the lakes here. The second thing, there are too many beautiful parks. There are too many gorgeous parks. Lots of trees, lots of shade areas, picnic tables, gazebos. They have misting fans when it's hot. There are a lot of friendly people around. There's just so many to choose from and visit. It's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming. You're like, there's just too many parks. Which one do I go to? So if you don't like parks, you're not going to want to move here to Texas, because I'm telling you, if you're not invited to the lake, you will be invited to the parks. And if you have children, you will be at the park on the weekends. So that is something that people love to do here. They love to hang out at the park. Me and my family, we love hanging out at the park on the weekends, and we get with friends and family. We have barbecues. We go out. We play basketball. We play kickball. The girls, they will kick around the soccer ball a little bit. And so we just have a good time. I celebrated my sister's birthday during COVID at the park. It was nice, and that's what people do. I mean, they have family and friends. They gather around and they just have a good time. You'll enjoy it, but if you don't like parks, you're going to want to avoid them altogether, because they have amazing biking and hiking trails, a lot of ground to picnic and explore. You know, they have sculptures, they have gardens, and then there's a water garden park too, downtown Fort Worth. You have the botanical gardens. There's so many parks and gardens and people watching, bird watching. It's just so much fun. So if you don't like any of that, you may not want to live here. Now, the third reason why you might not want to live here is because there's too many hiking trails. Yeah, Dallas-Fort Worth area has over 50 scenic Popular areas that you can go to for biking and hiking. And so like whether you're getting ready for a hike or a bike or go to a trail ride or explore the outdoor activities, there's so much to do. And there's almost over 50 scenic trails, beautiful forested trees, and people are out there, they're jogging, they're walking. And sometimes I just go out and take a stroll. Me and my girlfriend, we'll have lunch first. We'll eat lunch, or we'll have an early brunch, and we'll go walking in the park. And when my daughter was younger, we used to hike in the trails with her. That was so much fun because she was like a little tomboy and she loved to climb those little rocks and things. And then she'll stop over to make a little mud pie or something like that. It's a lot of fun. So some spots for hiking in Dallas and Fort Worth are even hidden right in plain sight. I remember years ago when I used to work in Richardson, there was this wooded area, and I wasn't too sure what it was, but it was a trail. You would think, oh my God, this looks scary, because it looks scary on the outside. But when you get in there, it is so clean, well trailed out. There's paths there, everything, and there are people in there running and walking and really exercising, having a good time. And so you can find these things right in plain sight. They're hidden. You just don't even know that there's a trail there. It's amazing. And another reason, number 4, that you don't want to remove here is if you don't care for your fur babies being in gated playing area. Ugh, it's crazy. There's like these doggy parks everywhere, and they're not these little bitty, caged in things where people, dogs are just running around. These are actual, the land is just vast, and the play area is just great. And there's a lot of friendly people there. The owners are there making friends with other owners. People don't even know each other. But if you have a dog and you're in that park, you make instant friends, right? And then they're making plans to have doggy play dates and they build relationships. So it's a great way to find out who's in your community. Get to know people. That's the quickest way. Like if you're moving here from out of town and you don't know anyone, if you have a fur baby, you might want to go to the doggy park. But if you don't like those kind of things, Dallas, Fort Worth is not for you. And if you like the barking and you like to hear the laughing just ringing through the neighborhood, it ain't gonna happen. These parks are nowhere near the neighborhood. They are situated in a secluded area away from the neighborhoods, but close enough to the neighborhoods that you could either walk to them or drive over there. And they have plenty of parking spaces for you. It's just amazing. It's a great place to go and get your dog socialized, and you have a little socializing that you can do. It's great. Now, number 5, if you are a serious tree hugger, Dallas, Fort Worth, North Texas is for you. But of course we have trees. We have lots of them. They're just not, the tall trees. And our native tree is like the red oak. Don't get that tall. I remember going back home a few years ago and to visit my family, my parents, and I was like, that oak tree in the front yard is about the same size as these trees that were planted 20 years ago. The thing about it is that our environment conditions, and including the soil, the climate, the weather, and the space, just aren't conducive enough to grow tall trees. So if you are into tall trees, you will not like living here, because even though we have plenty of them, they will never get tall. So that's one reason why you don't want to move to Texas, because the trees are just not as tall as you can find in other areas. Number 6, public transportation. Now, it's not that great here. If you live in the suburbs and you have, your daughter, your son, they meet somebody from the city, they're not going to be able to have their friend just come over by public transportation. It's hard to get into the suburbs because there is no public transportation. So if you have friends that you want to dine with or whatever, they will be driving their car, or they can Uber over. I was talking to a friend on the phone the other day, and she was telling me, she says, you know, I left home to run an errand, and there was somebody sitting at the bus stop, and on my way back, that person was still sitting at the bus stop. Like, the bus schedule does not run on schedule. It's not timely. And she was saying that from where she's from up north, that you will miss the bus. You're chasing after the bus because they are very much so on time, and there are people there, you know, sitting and monitoring the buses to make sure they arrive on time. So that's a really big, huge thing there. And I'm not sure that that's anything that Dallas does. I'm sure they probably have someone, I see the DART cars and things like that, so they may be monitoring, you know, the time of the buses. But I'm not sure why our bus system is not as good as some of the others, especially up north, other than the fact that everybody's not relying on the bus system, right? So that could be it. So if you are into taking the train and taking buses, this city is not for you. Now, the seventh reason why you don't want to move here is there's just too many sports teams here. I mean, there is a major league sport event every season. You just cannot go a season without rah-rahing for somebody. I mean, people are just wild about it. They love their sports here, and this is the place for it. So if you're not into sports, you're not going to like living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Because, like, let's say you got, of course, the Dallas Cowboys with the NFL, and then you have our baseball league, the Texas Rangers, and I love them. I love them all. And then you have hockey, the Dallas Stars, the NHL, and then you have in basketball, you have the Dallas Mavericks. And then you have the Dallas Wing, which is the Women's National Basketball Association. And then you have soccer. I love going to the games, and I love taking my family there. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to go and bond with your family and your friends and just cheer the sports on and just get excited about it. Now, the eighth thing is, you know, Friday night football. Now, speaking of sports, I got to tell you about, you cannot come here not knowing this, that every Friday night is reserved for high school football. The football stadium is filled with families and friends and classmates. Everybody's getting to know each other. Everybody is bonding together, and it's some really good team. Team spirit, and you know, they respect, each team respect the other. The visitors are very well welcomed and respected, and it's just so much fun. It's just clean Texas football fun. The people here in Texas, in Dallas-Fort Worth, we're very passionate about their teams. We're passionate about our teams, and we respect the other teams too. So it just makes it fun for everybody. Now, the ninth reason why you wouldn't want to move here is that if you may need an excuse for why you can't find a job. The unemployment rate here is very low, especially in the higher paying positions like energy and high tech. There's just no reason why you can't find a job. And then you have hotel, you have, you know, restaurants that are hiring. There's so many jobs here, so you can't run away and come here and say, oh, I can't find the job. So that will be like a big no-no for wanting to move here. Don't move here if you're trying to stay at home. Number 10, don't move here if you don't like cowboys. Okay? So yeah, we have Dallas Cowboys and we have regular Cowboys. Dallas, Frisco, and Arlington are all about the Dallas Cowboys, and so is Fort Worth. But I think Fort Worth's first love is in Cowtown Cowboys. They love their stock shows and rodeo. You'll find the cowboys there everywhere. Now, When you go to these other cities, you can go to Denton, Richardson, Plano, McKinney, Frisco, Mansfield, Arlington, Oak Cliff, DeSoto, Duncanville, Keller, Southlake, any of these cities around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, you'll find people in cowboy jerseys all around. They're all in the retail shops, they're in the grocery stores. You can pick up cowboy paraphernalia anywhere. And then the boots and hats, that gear can also be found throughout the whole Metroplex. There are shops everywhere that you can pick up a hat, a cowboy hat, and some boots and stuff like that. You don't see a lot of cowboys running around, but they will wear the attire. If you want to see cowboys in their real attire, the real cowboys, you got to go to the stockyards and rodeo. They're there. Now, number 11, you should move here if you love paying the highest dollar for things. The cost of living here is only 3% higher than the national average, and you're like, 3% higher? Yeah, but it's okay because our state, of all the 50 states, Texas is 14th lowest when it comes to the cost of living. So there's so many other states that you can go to and spend a lot more money than you do here in Texas. If you need to spend a lot of money and you love just pulling out that cash, pulling out that credit card, and paying those big dollars on those high ticket price items, Texas is not for you. Dallas-Fort Worth is not for you. Now, number 12, if you're concerned about the housing cost, because it's going up, which it's okay because it only means that the home value is appreciating. A lot of people don't want to move here. They're saying, oh my God, the housing market has gone up. You know, I don't want to move there because it's going to be too expensive. But I believe that the housing market is going to be increasing over years to come, which means that if you purchase now, you still will get the appreciation of your home. So it's a win-win situation. Now, number 13, and it's not last but not least, and there's a lot more reasons. You just keep following my channel, subscribe to my channel, and I'll give you some more reasons why you just don't want to move here if you're thinking about moving here. And if you're liking the things that I'm saying right now and you're enjoying the video and the content, please give me a like. So number 13, everything is really big here. And I mean, everything is really big here. You know, our skyline is big, our highways are big, they're tall, they're long, they're wide, and they're fast, they're big. Our trucks are big. You know, we wear big hats. You go to church and women, we are sitting with our big hats on. We love our big hats. Big hats and big hair. Big hair. And then we like big cars. The big expensive cars. We have big weather. Oh my God. When a thunderstorm comes through, it's like boom. It's so loud. And so I'm scared too. I'd be like hiding in the closet, trying to find me a safety house. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you're building, make sure you have like something in the center of your home that you can have like some type of safe haven. So when the tornadoes come through, you can go straight there. In my house, it's really open, and I don't have a plan like that. I don't have any place to go, so I go by prayer. And yeah, so yeah, the weather is really big, and it doesn't just rain here, it pours. So we have a lot of rain, which brings a lot of water. We have big water, big floods. We have big fairs. The Texas State Fair is like one of the biggest fairs in the world. And we have big techs out there. We have big mums. Oh my God, the girls, they adorn themselves for the homecoming game with these big mums, just huge mums. And they are so beautiful. And they're so heavy. I mean, they're so heavy that they're like toppled over. But it's really a fun event for the kids, for the girls. They love it. And then, oh my God, we have like the big Texas T-bone steak, which is juicy, and you gotta try that when you get here. We love it. Those steaks are just delicious. Everything is big here, and we like it that way. Check out my next video for more information on the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and also don't forget to like the video and subscribe. If you need any assistance buying a home here in Texas, give me a call. Thank you so much.